Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. For those of you guys that live for the Friday, for the rest of us out here that don't live for the Friday, every day we're out hustling, trying to get it, trying to make some more money, close some more deals, make some more relationships. This is the Mark Jennison live show. And I'm going to talk about 3 things today that actually my guy back here, John, he sets up the shows for me. But this one today actually was kind of something I need to talk about. Top 3 things that I think I need in my life and in my sales life that I have to have the most of that actually help make me me. Confidence, conviction, and self-esteem. This thing feels like it needs to be over here more. I don't know. Maybe you could hear me better. Anyways, yeah, so the top 3 things are 3 things I want to talk about today: confidence, conviction, and self-esteem. I'm going to do about 15, 20 minutes before I got to go take some time and do another webinar or something we're always filming. But let's talk about confidence right now. You know, I wasn't always this confident, and even still in my life right now, in certain moments, there's things that I lack confidence in, right? I mean, I know I can go in any situation, handle it, and do it, but what is confidence? What is confidence to you? What is confidence in the sale? What is confidence in your relationship? What is confidence in your ability to make money? What is confidence in your ability to be a parent? What does confidence overall look like for you? So for me, what confidence is means that I can go any place, anytime. Resilience. I like to often say that myself equates to hard work meets resilience, right? I'm probably one of the slowest learners out there, or like the hardest learners. Like I'm consistently beating my head against the wall, beating it, learning the hard way, right? I have to completely tear everything down to be able to come back and handle it. And I think I did this because one of the biggest keys to my life that has helped make me successful is my confidence. So for me, confidence means the ability to come back over and over, the ability to stand up in a room full of millionaires or stand up in a room full of people where I'm sharing my story about being an addict and be able to hold my head up high and be proud of who I am and be able to portray to this world exactly who I am. Whether I wear this shirt, this hat, a suit, no shirt, whatever, I want to be confident in every thought that I have, every decision I make, every movement I make for my family, my son, my future, that it's all in me. So I don't know what confidence is to you guys, but to me it means all those things, right? But why ultimately is it so important to have confidence as a salesman, right? Many people, I coach. I just launched a new program here. We got, I think, almost 20 people in there. We just launched it 2 days ago. And these are people that we hand selected to put in there. But these people are confident in their ability to do more out of their life. And that's kind of why I picked them first. But why is it so important for the new guy at the dealership to have confidence? Why is it important for you to portray confidence every day? If you don't have confidence, what is going to happen when the customer doesn't believe in you? If you can't believe in yourself and you're not confident that the product that you sell, the service you offer, the dealership, the store, the management team, they're not number one, they're not top notch, how's the customer going to feel about that? How's the customer going to want to buy from you? Why is the customer going to want to buy from you when they can go next door to the guy who's upbeat, positive, and believes in himself 100%? I had a call yesterday from one of the guys on my program who I respect very much, and I had to break it down for him. I'm not going to mention names. Hopefully he's watching this, but he said, the management team, it's getting hard to get a deal done over and over. I'm struggling here. I feel like I can't get anyone in off the door. It feels like every deal I get has got bad credit, right? If you go into something with a shitty attitude, or you go into something where you're feeling bad, and you're not confident, and you're already not believing it, all you're doing is finding excuses. I said, dude, if you have, how much of your day, how much of your time are you actually spending worrying about what everyone else is doing instead of your confidence in yourself to be able to produce new results, to go, hunt what you keep what you kill and go get your own stuff? Well, I don't know. I said, the answer is, if you even had to think about it, you're doing it entirely too much. You've got to be able to get rid of it. You've got to be so confident in what you're doing in your sales career that it's going to take you anywhere you want to go, that you can just navigate right through the routes of the road to the sale. But another thing that I want to talk about on confidence real quick is authenticity, right? One of your confidence is going to be a trait. It's going to show trust. You trust yourself. You trust in the process. You trust, like I just said, in the management. But why would you ever want to portray something you're not? Like, people can read people all day long, right? I can tell if I go to a person and they're new on the job, or they don't really know what they're doing, they're not confident. Yeah, I'm still going to buy them. Some of them I'll try to coach them through, try to help them, but they're authentic in it. They're not trying to cover it up. So Here's another tip I want to talk about. If you're not completely confident in yourself, I don't believe in the fake it till you make it. I believe in training. I believe in getting a mentor. I believe in reaching out to other people. I believe in figuring out a way to make you the most confident person that you can. What's cool about confidence is it's going to spill over not just into your customers, but into the other people. When I was selling cars, and even here, if I come in and having a lackluster day where I'm not feeling as confident in myself, or I'm not feeling as great about myself, I should say, as I am that day. It's raining. Like, I get seasonal like crap feeling sometimes, and it gets me upset. But if I'm not confident in what we got going on, that spills into the negativity, or it brings negativity to other people's lives. They're like, oh, well, Mark's kind of off. I'm gonna stay away from him, right? What does that do for you? Now, when you're on top of it, if I walk in here upbeat, hey, what's up, guys? Here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna crush it today. Everyone's day goes better and better, right? The same thing happens in the dealership or in your store with your partners. You want to be a leader, because some people are born to lead, right? I believe people are natural. There's some natural born leaders, but that's the guy who has the most confidence. You walk in, and it's going to spill over into the people. They're going to start looking at you for results. The management's going to look at you from a different way. The customer's going to look at you from a different way. You are going to be the person everybody wants to do business with. I can still walk back into my dealership right now, and I know, because of what I've learned and what I put myself through, I could go back and sell more cars than I did before, because I'm confident in the fact that I understand technology way better. I know how to do it. Nobody could do it, and I've talked to thousands and thousands of people, right? So I walk into that store, even though I don't sell cars anymore, I know that I was the best in there. I know I could walk back in and be the best, and I know that I could pretty much walk in anywhere and I could succeed. So how do you build up your confidence? I believe confidence is something that can be, it's a skill. It's something that can be worked on, right? So going to the gym, for me, huge confidence. If you don't feel good, right? Or let's not even worry about the gym first. Let's just clean up the diet, right? Confidence can start right with that. If you're eating shitty and you're eating at Wendy's every day, you're going to Burger King, you're on the Saturday, you're eating 5 pieces of pizza, you feel like a freaking bloated whale for whatever reason, how confident are you going to be in yourself? You got yesterday's stains on your food, on your shirt. I mean, your confidence is going to be down right there. It's all going to start with the decision to make better decisions, right? So you feel better. A couple tangible takeaways you can do. You can eat better. You could go to the gym. You could do yoga. You could meditate. You could pray. You could read. You could do audiobooks. You could get a mentor, like I said. You could ask questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. But these are you could sit in the mirror and do self-talk over and over. It's something I said. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. That's how I had to build confidence to actually be able to look back into myself. So in what other ways can confidence help you in your life? We're going to go to a break here in a second, but I want to leave it on that question before we come back and go over conviction. In what ways can being the most confident person in your dealership, in sales, in your arena of life, what ways can that affect other areas of your life, right? You're going to make more money. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. Overall, life's going to be better. If you're watching this and I'm talking to you right now and you're lacking confidence, think about it. How can one small decision right now to start working on my confidence change your life? Going to a break.
All right, we're almost back on.
That's a quick break. Can they hear you still when you talk like that? Can they hear you? Or did you get that figured out? All right, hey, we're back. And have you ever heard the saying, the person in the room with the most conviction wins? Right? Think about that for a second. So we just talked about confidence, but to get convinced, I mean, I don't know which order these work for you, but I started off with confidence today because I think you need to have confidence. But I want to then talk about conviction. The last one I'm going to talk about is self-esteem and how these tie together with self-esteem. Okay? But that sentence I just said, he or she, the person in the room with the most conviction wins every single time. So what is conviction to you? I want to talk about, again, about sales. I was just down at the six-figure sales conference, and I got to I didn't talk to everybody. Some people shied away from me. Some people talked to me. Some people talked to me more than others, and now my phone's ringing up on different things. But what I learned is conviction hits people in different ways, right? Not everybody walked into there believing they could make six figures, but I'm pretty sure everyone left in some sort of way realizing they could make six figures, and there's a different way, and we're going to show them how to do it, okay? But the conviction set in. Some of the people sat back and they're like, whoa, man, this is actually really possible. I'm looking at, Jonathan did some guys that did a couple, or almost 2,000 cars, like 1,500 cars, or like some crazy number of cars, right? Dudes are amazing. And these guys are seeing that. And even myself, I'm like, man, that's awesome. These guys are just doing some crazy results. But you can watch the difference. Like that, those guys that didn't say anything sat back in the corner, they wrote notes and they were thinking about it. Like, man, their conviction changed. They're talking now. There's other guys that stood up at that moment and they're like, I'm going back to the dealership. One guy comes to my mind right now, Cameron Moore, went back and he sent me a message. He's like, dude, I owe it all to you guys. No, you don't owe shit to me, right? I mean, yeah, you came and you watched me and Jonathan and Alan and it was good, right? But you decided. You were convinced. You had the conviction to go after yourself, to go down to spend your money that was probably, I don't know the financial situation, but spend your money that you needed to spend it because you were convinced you're going to go there and you're going to learn something. You come back and you pull off a hat trick, and then I see you doing more stuff right now. The conviction was a killer. So why is it important to have different levels of conviction? Or I shouldn't say different levels, the utmost conviction that you can. Because it's going to get you through a lot of hard times, right? We'll talk about my story, my comeback, right? A little bit outside of cars. I'm convicted that there's nothing I can go to jail. I could not eat. I could probably relapse again. I could lose everything one more time. But because I've done this, it's almost to the point where it's like a muscle memory. I know that I could come back. There's nothing that I can't do, and I believe it. Physically or mentally. Now, physically, right, I know I can't slam dunk a basketball. I wish I could, but I just can't do that. But when I'm talking about things like that, if you believe so intently that you can win and you can succeed and you can feel it, you can taste it, you can breathe it, you're going to go get it. People will buy from you, though, when you're convinced, when you're convicted. Okay? When I was selling cars and some of my students are selling cars, these guys know that they're already, what they have to offer is the best. I mean, I had a guy talk about a guy the other day. He's like, man, we lost this car deal. For whatever reason, the truck someone else sold the truck off from underneath him. They got him done. He had $8,000 down, blah, 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 whatever. But the guy started coming back and he's like, well, you sold that car, now you're going to make it work. He comes back with more expensive trucks and this and that, whatever. And the salesman did a good job. He's like, no, man, you don't get it. Like, I'm already trying to help you. I know the product and service I have. Yes, your credit, your financial situation is all each of your own, but I'm trying to help you, and this is what you can have. Just because someone sold your car because of some decisions you made in your past doesn't mean that I need to bend over backwards for you and give you what you want. We're going to lose. Like, yes, I'm going to bend over backwards and give you the most amount of service that I can and treat you like a winner and treat you like a millionaire, but don't treat me like shit. Because I'm convinced that I'm the best solution to your problem and I'm going to help you fix it. Let me show you why. Let me help you out of this pit. Jonathan Dawson did a great analogy that hit me about the Jeep. You remember the one about the Jeep or whatever? And the guy talked about ripping a rope and a Jeep and getting him out. I mean, I'm not going to go through it because it's his story, but it hit me. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Not only is that salesman and that story show an absolute sign of conviction, it shows the reality of actually helping people. When you know your product service is superior to everybody else, you're going to win. So I want to ask you before we cut to another break real quick. Are you convicted? Are you convinced you are the best solution to everyone's problems? How about this in your personal life? Are you convinced that the life you're living, the things you're doing behind the curtain, the things you're doing at work is bringing home the most money for your family, that you're giving your wife or your husband or whatever, significant other, you're doing what's best for them? Are you convinced and are you convicted that every day you go to work, you're going to work to succeed? That's a question I want to leave you on. Go to another break. feel flat today. Oh, sorry. All right, we're back. So, confidence and conviction. He or she who has the most conviction wins. He or she who has the most confidence wins, right? I think you see the theme here. I think you see how they match together. I'm going to button this thing up in the next 5-10 minutes, talk about something that a lot of people lack to get there, right? I put this last. I do it in a different order because it works for me, and I hopefully can relate this content to you and give you the message. Self-esteem. This starts when you're a child, right? I mean, I've already talked about the confidence, I talked about the conviction, but self-esteem. I spent many years, right? I'm going to get into my child. I spent many years of not having the best self-esteem or feeling the best worth because of just the way I felt about myself, right? I was a chubby little kid at the time. You know, I love my brother. He's like my best friend, but you know, he called me fat boy and this over and over all the time, right? So, but that did things for my self-esteem. It made me feel bad. Now I'm like, I have to go work out nonstop. I'm sure I like to thank him now for that. But at the time, it hurt, right? My self-esteem was bad, and I ate, or I didn't know how to work out, or I made different choices, or I went into the drugs and alcohol. But let's talk about what that, that was me as a kid. But I took that into the shitty part of my life. I found this person. I learned how to work out. I started to realize I could have fun and be the life of the party, and I looked good and I felt good on the outside, but inside I was falling apart. So my confidence shined through drugs and alcohol. My conviction shined when I had it, but I didn't have that part until I decided to accept help with my life. And I want to talk about the self-esteem I had when I went into the dealership when I started selling cars. I had zero. I didn't even think I could get a job selling cars because the first dealership turned me down. So I walked in after losing millions of dollars, and the guys, those of you who follow my comeback story, know the shit that I went through. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I went into this dealership feeling crappy. I didn't even think I belonged. Didn't feel worthy. Didn't feel like I had anything to give. And I slowly started building up my self-esteem. I stayed off the drugs and alcohol, and I worked on it. And I told myself every day, if I hit this gym without steroids, I'm going to be okay. If I fucking keep pushing every day, if I train, if I study, my self-esteem, if I'm going to cut the negativity and put myself with winners, my self-esteem is going to grow. If I'm going to surround myself with people that are making six figures, and I'm not talking about other car guys, I'm talking about dudes that are actually making seven figures. I wanted to put myself around the hierarchies, the guys who own the businesses of my old friends, stuff like that, and the owner of the dealership, the owner's sons. My self-esteem is going to rise. I built my self-esteem up so good that I ultimately, before I went into rehab, was feeling amazing, all to have crushed again by a relapse. When I came out, the self-esteem was gone, and I felt worthy. I like to talk to the people about this, my superpower. Like, I've realized that being sober was my kryptonite. That's what I thought it was at first. I got out, and I'm like, man, I can't do this. I don't feel good. I can't sell cars. I can't sell anything. I don't deserve to be alive. I'm a fucking loser. I'm a shitty dad. I fucking hate life. So I battled with this self-esteem. I decided to make a decision to put that away. Why do you guys need self-esteem? I mean, that's a dumb question, but think about that. Why do you need to work on your self-esteem? How do you feel right now about yourself? I wanted to end with this because usually they say the last thing that I talk about is what you guys remember. Why do you not feel the greatest? What changes are you doing in your life right now? How can you make yourself grow? How can you make yourself feel better about everything you do? I'm very passionate about this because I truly want to help people. On one side of my mouth, I'll talk a little bit about my relationship and this girl that I love. And even though I found myself getting beat down at times from the business and from the life and from the addiction and stuff like that. And I'm so fucking stupid I don't pay attention to what's going on over here that I'm hurting her self-esteem because I'm not giving her what I need to be. Until recently here, that's on my left. I took it on the right and realized, dude, you're out here telling the world that you're trying to build people up and you're hurting someone close to you. And I can spend all my time building you guys up. And now I realize I need to take a step back and I need to build from within. So I need to build John here. I need to build Carly. I need to build Kevin. I need to build Jacob. I need to build everybody up, and that's what's going to help them. So right now, one of the biggest things I think you can do for your self-esteem is help somebody. There's people that are a couple chapters behind you. We're not even talking sales right now. Maybe it's guys in your sales in your floor. You know, they're 2-3 chapters behind you. They're ready to listen to you. They want to follow your example. They need to see your self-esteem. They need to see you be upbeat and positive. They don't need to see you fucking off, drinking, blowing checks, doing strippers, right? They don't need to see that type of life. There's somebody out there that needs to hear what you have, and that's going to help your self-esteem grow to push you into the next. One of the keys I think to people that make, you know, anyone, I believe anyone can make 6 figures. I don't really think it's that hard. I could literally do it with my eyes closed. Anything I do. I mean, I'm not going to choose to go work at McDonald's, but any job, any career, any business I put my hands into, I'm going to make 6 figures easy in less than a year. Always been that way. I'm talking about the self-esteem to get to the real stuff. Mid 6 figures, you know, upper 6 figures, 7 figures, you know. I think it can be done, and I think it starts with self-esteem. If you'll help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Now, I don't know what that is for you. If that's a better quality life, if that's a better relationship, if that's a better job, if that's more leads, if maybe it's better at your church, I think it all starts with your self-esteem. What you put into this world is what you're going to get back. Start building people up. It is going to build you up. Be convinced that you have the most confident and you're the most willing and able person to help somebody in the room, and decide that you're going to crush it. Today this video, this Mark Jennison Live, I didn't know where it was coming from, but this is just one I want to relate to you guys. I believe the 3 things you need to do right now: self-esteem, confidence, and conviction. Work on them, wrap them up, put them together, and figure out how you can be the best version of yourself, just like I'm doing right now. If any of you guys need a hand, reach out to me. I'm going to grab you by the arm, and I'll help you. I'm a little bit further than some people, and then my mentors are even further than me. If I'm not too ashamed to ask for help, neither should you guys. You guys have a great day. Thank you for joining the Mark Jennison Live show. I messed up my last name, Mark Jennison Live. Have a great day.